this episode of Disrupt Education, we have Chanel Washington. Thank you so much for coming in.
No problem.
Oh my gosh, you bring human life into the world.
Thank you. Yes, I do.
So thank you. So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
So I am Chanel Washington, a graduate of OPRF 2015. I'm trying to figure that out, actually. I'm trying to figure out who I am. But I am a doula. I'm a birth doula. I've been a birth doula for over a year now. I've always been involved with healthcare, women's bodies, just birth work in general. I've always been involved, whether if it was a health careers camp, medical camps through Triton or Loyola through high school, even in middle school, I was just always involved. And I always knew what I wanted to do. At first, it was an OBGYN. And then just growing up and just doing a lot of research, it was just more so, okay, I want to do more of a natural, holistic type of thing and have that background so I can give that knowledge to my clients. So I just came across doula and midwifery, and all those things have just played a part into who I am right now. So
can you explain for some of the viewers, like me including, what is a doula? What does that term mean in the birthing industry?
So a doula is a woman's caregiver during labor and delivery. We support them. We are trained in counterpressure techniques, massage techniques to give them relaxation. Everything we do is non-clinical, so we don't do vaginal checks. We don't do fetal heart checks or anything like that. That's where the midwife comes in, or their OB or their doctor. But we are there to just give that support to the family and give that reassurance to the mom during that time of labor and delivery.
So you have to be good under pressure.
Under pressure, all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So you said going back into your education. Well, let's start with like middle school and go all the way through like where you have been. But how did you know? Do you remember the time it clicked?
My mom, honestly, she told me it was like 4 or 5 years old when it clicked.
Wow.
I remember watching A Birth Story on TLC. It used to come on all the time, and I was just intrigued. Like that's all I wanted to watch. I was never into animation, so I was that child that's just like, I want to watch babies being born.
That's real.
I never, and to this day, like I really do not like animation. Yeah. So I've always been involved and just watched birth. So she was like, I turned the channel from Barney one day and you just started screaming. And so she was like, she turned back and I just got quiet. So she was like, okay, so she likes this.
Yeah.
And so one day she was like, she went to church and the preacher, basically the sermon was, when you see something or your child intrigued in something, just continue to push them towards that. And so when she saw that, she was like, okay, well maybe she likes this. Let me just continue putting that in her face. Yeah. And that's what she did through middle school, high school. I've always, whether if it was just meeting with an OBGYN, she's put me with so many OBGYNs.
Yeah.
Just to even communicate and just to talk to them and just say, hey, I am interested. What should my next steps be? Right. So that's just what I've always been involved in. So 4 or 5 years old was when I knew I wanted to be an OBGYN.
Yeah.
But growing up and just getting a lot more research, a doula is what fit me more. Just for the whole aspect of like just holistic, it's more natural, and it's more so of the client and more face to face with the client, and it's not so clinical and in the hospital and in the nursing field.
So going through that journey, and you said you fit into that, the doula. Tell us a little bit about that educational journey, because there might have been, like you said you wanted to go into OBGYN and those types of fields, and how did you pivot through that?
So I went my freshman year of college. So let's start back. In high school, my counselor, Sarah Vinhorst, me and her just clicked. So she always knew since freshman year that I wanted to be involved in the medical field. So she always connected me with, whether if it was a doctor or a nurse teacher or whoever, she always connected me with somebody that I could just connect with. So she's just helped me with that as well. In high school, like I said, I was in Triton my senior year. I was able to get early dismissal. I started my classes at Triton to get some credits because I thought I was going to go under, nursing field and under biology and all those things, which I did my freshman year of college. But I ended up coming back home. It just wasn't what I thought it would be. And then my scholarship was beyond crazy, so I just had to come back home. And then when I got back, I started back at Triton. And I got my CNA. I did not like that because I wanted to do more with babies. And the whole CNA aspect was totally different, and it just kept me away from that. Did not like it at all. So like I said, just a lot more research, a lot of more birthing classes, just to see how that atmosphere and environment is. And I just fell in love with it. It was just so natural. It was just more so of the body is just so amazing, especially a woman's body is just so amazing. And so just getting so much research, going to different classes, going to different trainings, I just learned so much, and it just kind of just stuck with me, and I just continue to just get involved.
when you transferred then, you came back. Oh, where were you at beforehand?
Ohio. So I was at Wilberforce University. It was a private HBCU. That was my goal, whatever. I was like, I have to go to HBCU. So that's what I did. I was there for a semester. I just felt like I was just rushed into it. I felt like it was a traditional route of schooling. After high school, go straight to college.
Right.
And it's sometimes that's good for my parent or my aunt or my uncle, but it wasn't always good for me. I thought maybe if I took a year off and had my mind together and my thoughts together, I probably would have still stuck it out. But I had to come back home.
And you are a CNA as well, right?
No.
Or you were on your path there?
I was on my path there. I did my clinicals at West Suburban.
Wow.
I did everything.
Okay, so yeah.
I did everything. But that last step of everything, I was just like, I can't do it.
What was that last step?
Whether if it was just, I believe it was just like the whole classes and just not really being focused on it. Like I really wanted to be hands-on with babies and mothers, and I was more so hands-on with elderly and taking blood pressures, and which is fine, but it just really wasn't what I wanted to do. In school, high school, middle school, I tried my best to fight through different tribulations or whatever I had going on, but my attention span in school was just not there all the time. And if it interested me, then I was into it, but if it didn't, then you really lost me. So I had to figure out what was that I liked and that I loved to really get me and continue to walk that path.
Do you think that in the high school realm or even the middle school realm, we could do a better job, and how would we, if so, how would we do a better job of having you grow your passion or what you're interested in at the time? Because we know we change all the time, but
of course.
How does that look for you?
In school, so my freshman year, I seen Freedom Writers, the movie, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be how high school is. And it was not at all. It was not. I kind of just looked at it like it's going to be just this beautiful time. And I was like, okay, those teachers are gonna be like that teacher that was on that movie, and it's just gonna be that, and we're gonna have a fabulous time together for these 9 hours out the day. And that just wasn't the case at all. Certain teachers, of course, I found that in, talked to them, and they know my story, my home story, and things like that. So they know different things about me. But it wasn't with all teachers, and it wasn't with all students or whoever I encountered with. But I feel like the traditional way of schooling, I think it just hinders a lot of kids sometimes, because not just the era is changing, kids are changing, life is changing. It's a whole new era of life, teaching, style, fashion, whatever. It's just a whole different era. So having a teacher to communicate with a child outside of just traditional books or just traditional way of teaching where it's just on the board. A lot of kids actually, they need more so interactions instead of just, okay, well, let's turn to page 15 and let's just read and just do popcorn reading. And it's like, you want this child here every day for 9 hours out the day, and you're wondering why they're not, getting a B or an A. They're just not. It's just I feel like the teaching or just how we go about it sometimes. Sometimes I feel like it could be bent, because some students will tell you, hey, this isn't the way you're going to teach me. I can't learn this way. And then, they try to figure it out, but they're still going about it the traditional route. And it's like, just bend them a little bit, just because you might have that student that's just having that time where they're just like, okay, I just need somebody in my corner just to give me a little bit of push or a little bit of whatever, just to see that I have that potential. Like, I'm not this crazy person that just doesn't want to do my work. I just need somebody to understand me and where I'm coming from. So, and that's where I felt like I was. I just needed somebody to just understand, okay, I'm not crazy, I'm not slow, I just don't understand this math problem. Don't make me feel crazy because I don't understand this math problem. Just work with me, help me, because I need you to understand that I don't understand understand this. So breaking it down one time isn't going to let me get it. We're going to have to break this down 3 or 4 times so I can understand the aspect or the concept of this math problem.
Right.
And that's what I was. And that's where I would talk to my teachers all the time, like, okay, that's cool. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm not understanding this.
Right.
And when I would do that, I kind of felt so crazy because it'll either be I'll raise my hand and tell them that, but they make you feel so crazy. And most kids will say that, like, they just make you feel so crazy.
Because you're not going a certain speed or anything like that.
Speed
They're not meeting you where you were at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some kids just need that extra time and just meet me where I am.
Right,
right. So even if I am coming to you after school 3 days out the week, okay, let's continue doing that. And it doesn't have to always be about the books. It doesn't have to be about the schooling. I might be having issues at home where I just need somebody to talk to, and that's why I can't get this math problem down.
Right.
So it's more so of having that connection with your child, with your student.
Do you think changing the structure of a school day would allow doing it differently, like a block schedule or maybe a half a day for, I don't know, do you think the 8 period is conducive to like deeper relationships, or do you think it's just, you mentioned popcorn reading and different things like that. How do you feel about that?
I definitely believe in changing it up. Definitely in high school, I was like, why can't we just change it up? It's just the same routine every day. I'm waking up at 6:30, I'm being here by 7:30, classes are at 8. Okay, I'm there for 48 minutes, I'm there for 48 minutes, and it's just the same thing over and over again. Whether if it was a half a day here, a block period there, kids leave early here, I believe we still do the early dismissal. But certain things could work if it was just, and then it's scientifically proven that if you go to school at a later time, your day is better, your mood is better, you want to learn. So it's just all about, working with the student, making sure that, you want to have them, you want to, give good grades out and you want to be a good teacher, but it's what's really going on with the students in your classroom. Do you really know them? It's not so much, here's your paper, do your homework, and, it's more so of getting to, you're with them for 4 years. I would want to know somebody in my classroom.
That's that, and it fits, like your learning style fits exactly in what you're doing. It's I'm sitting here thinking about, how you're bringing people into the world and comforting people and being almost like a social emotional person there to help them through this amazing event in their lives.
It's very emotional, especially in high school. You go through so many ups and downs, not just with yourself, with yourself, but it's everybody around you. You're just dealing with so many mood swings. This person might like you one day, the next person might not like you the next day. So it's just, high school is very weird.
Yeah.
And I first got here and I was just like, oh, this is just not what I'm looking for. I did not want to stay here for 4 years. But I had to adjust to it. I had to grow with it. I had to figure out what I liked. My freshman year, I was just moving from Evergreen Park, so I didn't know anyone. Yeah. So my freshman year, I was by myself. I wanted to do that, though. I wanted to scope out the environment. I wanted to know who was around me, what classes I was going to have. I wanted to do that because I didn't know the atmosphere, and I was just coming from Evergreen Park, so I just wanted to be able to just scope everything out.
Right.
So sophomore year, I got more involved with Black Leaders Union, spoken word, different things like that to just keep me involved and say, okay, maybe I can do it for the next 3 years.
If you had advice for your 15-year-old self or a 15-year-old coming into high school right now, what would you tell them?
Keep going. Whatever that you might think is wrong now, just keep going. Any issues that you had, any problems that you might have thought if you lacked whatever, self-esteem, confidence, just keep going because it's all going to pay off, and just keep going.
This isn't the end, right?
This is not the end. Just keep going.
Awesome. Where can people find you?
You can find me on social media. I'm all over Twitter, Instagram. For my doula work, you can email me at takecaredoulas.com.
Okay.
After that, it's more so Twitter, Instagram. My Twitter is... Actually, I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll find out. We'll put it up down here.
Yeah, let's do that. My
we'll
Instagram is Nelly Love, NELLYLOVEE _ You can find me on there. Like I said, my email address is take.care.gmail.com.
Awesome. We'll throw those up. Thank you so much. This is amazing. You're bringing life in. That's amazing to me. With 2 kids of my own, I know how special that is, and you don't forget anybody in that room, I
No.
can tell you. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to keep disrupting. We'll see you guys next time.